Selves. Welcome to the Trap Bootcamp Podcast. Hello, everyone. As you can see, we are enjoying a nice lunch together.
Yep.
This is a new episode. We are going to be going over some things. You know, the theme of the month was living a life of no regrets.
Yes, ma'am.
And
I do not regret this meal.
I don't regret this meal. We got to give a shout out first,
Right away.
okay?
Right away.
To Hummus Lali. Mm-hmm. It's an always authentic, always delicious meal, you guys. Check it out.
It's just down the street from where we are.
Westlake Village.
Yep. They're amazing. It's a very family-owned restaurant, and they're very, very authentic Israeli food. I've known these people for a little while, and they just opened up their restaurant. It's truly amazing. If you guys are looking for legit hummus, falafel, I don't eat meat, but I'm sure their shawarma is very good. Please check it out. Amazing family, amazing food. You will not be disappointed. Hummus Lali out in Westlake.
So we're just going to talk, this month we have been focusing on living a life of no regrets. And me starting this podcast was literally me living a life of no regrets. It was some things that I wanted to do in my life. And I really, I was a talker, honestly, and I just didn't really do as much. So when I started, it was a mess. It was a hot mess.
I didn't say it was a mess.
Well, you didn't listen to the first couple episodes. I've been listening to them, and I swear you can't hear people. And
well, that wasn't your fault. That was Zoom's fault. Not shouting out.
Yeah, and then you know what? In the beginning, I was actually just putting the microphone up to the phone. Up to the phone. Mm-hmm. My mic up to the phone and working from there. So
it's a work in progress.
It was a work in progress, and there were so many things that really attributed to me doing the podcast, just, being in quarantine. And I think I even decided to start it before quarantine, but when quarantine hit, I was like, oh no, we're really going to do it.
Full speed ahead.
Yeah. And we started having conversations with people, and it was just amazing. Mm-hmm. It was amazing to see that, for one, when I look at all of the progress.
I was actually watching or going back yesterday and just seeing just the videos from when it was before the videos to the videos now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just that in itself, but the confidence and I don't know, it was just fun. It was I've known you for so long, so watching the progression of it, literally was so cool.
I've always wanted to be a motivational speaker, and I said that before, but that's just something that you say, I'm a motivator, but I am. Mm-hmm. But it is a different thing when you can get it in front of a crowd of people and just really speak and really deliver a message that can change and transform lives. That's a different thing. And I know that I can do that with my presence. And I'm really starting to learn a lot about myself, because I have a friend who's really bubbly, and people just always love her energy, and they're always, oh my God, making all these comments. And when it comes to me, people don't react to me that way. Yeah. And that's okay. But the way that they react to me, I think is sometimes, I don't know. It feels like I'm a mom. I walk in the room and it's okay, I'm gonna judge. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's me. That's how I feel sometimes. So I'm trying to work on my presence. I'm trying to work on the way that I talk to people, and I'm really trying to live a life with no regrets.
Fair enough. Yep.
So that's what this month is about, and then we're just gonna go over some old episodes that I think, or old and present episodes that helped people live a life of no regrets. And so I have 12 things. Instead, I had 13, but I changed it.
We skipped number 7 for some reason.
I didn't have a number 7 on there.
I was as a trainer, we can't count. And I was very confused. I was hold on now.
We cannot count. We can't. No. I call everything trainers count. My clients be like, I did 15. I was like, no, that was 11.
Well, one's for extra luck.
Right.
Or the 2 with the bad form, they don't count.
Right. And mean it too. Mean it shit. But
so funny.
The one of the old episodes that really hit me, the most recent was
Nassim. Yeah.
Nassim.
Yes.
I always say Nassim. Nassim. That episode was so good, and that when we had our meditation, the 2-minute meditation, well, it was a 10-minute, but we showed them 2 minutes. That was really like edifying. That's something that I've always wanted to have on the podcast.
Yeah, I knew you guys would get along. He and I'm sure if you guys haven't watched that episode, please do. He is amazing, but he got to that point. What did he say at like 16 or 18?
Yeah.
He was just like, no regrets. I'm just going to go full into it. I don't give a fuck what people are going to say. And I mean, I think that's exactly what you're doing.
Interesting was I said I had 12 things that help to live a life of no regrets. So I'll just go over a few of them, and then
yes, please,
we're going to come back next episode, y'all, and we're going to do this again.
Yes.
We're going to finish up this list. So the first one would be living in the present. And that episode with Neeson was really a way to live in the present to me. I feel like meditating has been so good for me lately. It's really been a way to keep myself in alignment. And like, I found some different types of meditation too. Have you ever used like a body scan meditation?
I think I tried it. So I'm not great at meditation. With Nassim, if we're working a little more directly, or like even what we did, it's much more helpful. But I've tried it like when my insomnia is kicking in for like the 6 months or whatever. I've tried it, but like I'm never like really dove into the knowledge. Tell me more about it.
So body scan would be like you lay back on the floor and you lay back. I always say anatomic position where your feet are apart, your hands are away from your body, and you're breathing, but you're scanning through your body and you're releasing the tension, because we don't realize how much tension we hold in our bodies throughout the day.
True.
You know what I mean? I remember as a child, my aunt, I don't even think she remembers this, but she used to always hit me on my stomach and say, tuck it in. And that was just something that she did, because she said you're supposed to hold your core in. And so my whole life I've been holding tension in my stomach.
I see. Yeah.
And I don't know why. And so when we did I did a body scan. I learned this in therapy. I did a body scan meditation, and it went through, and then I got to my womb area, and I had a lot of tension there. And then when I had my clearing with Azul, I don't know if you know about her. You'll meet her eventually. With Azul, she was like, oh, you had a lot of trauma in your womb. And I hold a lot of tension there too, you know? So I feel like it's a good way for us to start just like bringing ourselves back to that and living in the present, feeling, you know, everything in your body, your hands, your toes, scanning your body for pain, seeing if you need, you know, anything that you need to do, you know, that's like our own MRI.
True. You know, it's interesting. I just saw something recently on probably Instagram, to be honest, and it was talking about the chakras, right? And like most of the chakras, or like areas that are out of tune, are like the lower, like the womb, the root, the, you know, the other chakras.
Right.
Sorry, y'all. I'm still learning. Yeah, they were talking about when those are out of whack, but those are the things that are like very instrumental, you know, like the womb is like, not like sex or not the root.
But yeah,
like, it's like if that's out of alignment, which is like our like kind of go-to to like go into a fucked up relationship or like whatever it is, like, so it would make sense that it's like lower, like it's just
that's even like when women have kids, they lose their pelvic floor integrity, right? And as a trainer, if we train them prior to them having the kid, we can help them to open their hips even more.
That's a different segment.
But that means that, you know, just doing hip lifts and all those different things change the way that your body responds to the pregnancy. The way that it bounces back from the pregnancy. You can still work out. You know, these are all different things that, you know, as living in the present, you know what I mean? When you're in your body as a pregnant woman, these are things that people need to know. Yeah.
And I think also just accepting that, like, okay, like, yeah, you might be, you know, growing a child, or as I like to say, spawn. But like, but you know, like you're accepting that you're pregnant, but like, are you also accepting like what your body's going through? And I think that's a lot of like the deeper knowledge of it. Like you're not just popping out kids because they're cute. Some people.
Because it's so much more than that. The way your body, oh my God, it's so different. Our bodies bounce back, and all of that can be ruined. I won't say ruined, but it can if you don't come back properly. And they don't really tell women how to do that. No. They don't.
It's so interesting. I actually just got back kind of recently into contact with a girl I grew up with. I won't say her name. But we were best friends growing up. You know, we kind of drifted apart, and now she's got 2 babies.
Woo.
And so we're kind of talking again, and she was literally, that's exactly what she said. She was like, they didn't help me the first time, and now it's like, you know, I had my check-in, and they're just like, okay, the baby's cool. And but like, she's having so many issues.
Oh my
like
God.
in her T-spine, which is like, you know, a little bit higher than probably where it should be. And like, just like all this crazy stuff. And she's just like, they're not helpful.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to help her, but it's like, you know, it's difficult.
It's very difficult.
Yeah. Regardless if you have kids or not. The pelvic floor, not just because it's sexy, but because it's very important.
True.
Like, it needs to, and even for men, right? It's just, even at like the very bottom of it, it's about breathing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
And then like your body from later on, like you don't want to have the kid and then that's it. You know what I'm saying? You still want to be able to lift things. You still want to do a lot with your body. So, you know, all of that, we went all the way into living in the present, but that, you know, all of that is helpful.
Yeah. You're welcome.
You're welcome. Yes. So one of the next things on the list would be living the life that you want. Live the life that you want. These are on my list of 12 things of living a life of no regrets. So living the life that you want, I feel like that means evolving every day into the person that you were created to be, whoever that may be, like whatever your beliefs are. I feel like we're all created to do something. Yep. And that is definitely the root of it.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I agree. And like, I know we kind of have notes on past
that's fine.
shows, but your friends, Miss Conversation Piece.
Yeah.
I feel
for sure. All right.
Can you think back to a time where you had to sacrifice for your dream, and was the sacrifice worth it?
Like with a relationship.
Oh.
Yeah.
So right before I was about to leave Memphis, I told my boyfriend, I was like, this is what I want to do. He wasn't really supportive. Like, he would give me money, but it just wasn't supportive to me in my eyes. And so he took me house shopping, he bought me a car, all these things to keep me. I could be a housewife, I could have a nice home and be taken care of, but I didn't feel like I would be happy.
Like, I don't know if that's what we noted, but like, wow, like she truly was like, she had a dude that was very willing to just
take care of her.
She wanted, and she was like, I already know I'm not gonna be happy with that. Truly such I still think about it, like, what, like, amazing. Like, I've really been pulling more and more people in that just have this amazing, and I'm sure it's because of your energy, but like, it's just like this very eclectic, amazing, positive group that you have around you. And
you know, these are just people that I've come in contact with, but I really do, like, I tap into, my nose ring is coming down a little bit. I tap into who a person really is. You know what I mean? The root of that person. And if it resonates in my spirit that they should be exposed, I feel like they'll help somebody else.
Yeah.
Their story will help somebody else. And I feel like we've been good at getting people that have stories that help others, you know?
Absolutely. And yours too. I mean, to be honest, like when you first started this podcast and the first time I came on, I was like, wow, this is like really cool. And again, seeing the progression into where you are now. And like, we've talked on the phone.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Like, I think I texted this girl like 2 a.m. a couple weeks ago, and I was like, wow, like, it's so amazing just rewatching things, and like, I'm so proud of you, and I'm so happy and like blessed to be a part of it. Like, I feel like this topic, girl, you in there.
I'm definitely living a life of no regrets. And it gets hard and it gets challenging, and I think that it takes me to meet different people that can influence me to know that it's just not going to be hard all the time. You know what I mean? There was another episode, it was with Noah James. This was an older episode. This is before even the show was even a podcast, actually. I'm going to have to take this nose ring out because it feels like it's going to fall out, so that would be crazy. So, but he was in the episode before it was a podcast. It was Trap Fit Life. And we spoke about him. He had lost weight. And
what I wanted to do for a long time.
I made my body a prison. You know, people, I realized that, like, my grandmother gave me a lot of confidence. Like, man, like, you know, I was taking my shirt off at 10 at the pool. Like, I didn't give a flying fuck. Knew I was cute, didn't care. But then last year, I realized I was overconfident about my size. Like, too overconfident. Like, it's becoming a problem. Like, yes, I love the confidence, but at the same time, it's like, you want to be healthy. I ain't trying to be skinny. I'm just trying to be very healthy. And that was the mind change. Like, bro, man, listen, you know you cute, but you don't have to prove that being fat. Lose some weight, man. Like, you want to live.
He's sharing his dream with the world, and then he also was able to tell other people. This brother was almost up 400 pounds.
Whoa.
And he lost 150 pounds plus.
Amazing.
And
wow.
and he had a really bad hip problem that was a child issue. And so,
wow.
yeah, well, the episode will be able to talk more about that. But he was just like, it was really instrumental in me seeing him, like, as I was losing weight, seeing people that were losing weight too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was an influence to me. And it was like, when I got to my goal weight and then I started to do the competitions, I started to think, you know, people need to know how hard this is. Like, I know they do, but like from my perspective, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like, I think also, obviously it's hard. And I think that's why it's difficult for anyone to even like stay consistently working out or stay consistently on like a diet. I hate that word, but
that's why I don't diet.
Yeah.
That's exactly why I don't diet.
Yeah, exactly, right? But it's just, I think it's also when you hear from that side of like, but look at all this amazing stuff that's coming with it. Like, not a lot of people talk about that.
Right.
Or
that's true.
Even hear it. So.
Well, I mean, I experienced an interior transformation that was like, you know, I can't even explain it. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I was always knowing, I always thought music was my purpose.
Yeah.
And so when I found something that was like, woo, this gives me the same feeling that music gives me. And then if I share it with people, I still feel a reward because I'm getting paid. And then I'm seeing them change, you know, because I mean, shoot. Yeah. Music wasn't paying me, but I loved it and I was investing everything in that. And so if I can invest everything into something that's going to give me money back and I'm changing lives, okay, let me see what this is about.
Definitely.
You know, that's why I decided to be under the trainer that I was with. I apprenticed for 2 years before I got my certification.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And so, you know, I was trying to live my life, live a life of purpose. That's our next one. Look at that segue. What?
Bring it
what?
on.
I was living a life of purpose. I was at the time when I started everything, I was coaching. I was coaching at an after-school program, LA's best after-school program. I had quit my job in the film industry after 6 years.
Wow. She said.
Anyway. And then I went into something that I loved doing, and I was coaching kids, and I seen the smiles on their face, and it was energizing, but it was also draining. So draining. Oh, sure. But I realized that I wanted to do something that was going to help change lives, and I met him at church. And so it was like, he changed my life, and I was like, if I can do this for other people, then hey. And then look where we are now, moving forward. And I just keep elevating that because I really believe in myself, and I believe in the people that I surround myself with, like you.
Oh, thank you.
And I know that we are serving a purpose that's higher than us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether we know it or not, people are being affected by the words that we say. And so it's important for us to be transparent and authentic. That's what I try to be on this show. Like I was listening to some shows. Oh my God. Girl, I was so drunk and high. So drunk and so high. Girl, on the first couple episodes, I was drunk every episode because it's quarantine. So every time I did my podcast, I had a glass of wine. I was faded. And I be here sober now. You know what I mean? I respect the people around me. I'm trying to, respect my people. But it was like I needed it. At that time, I was listening to some of the podcasts, and I was like, one day I was like, yeah, last week I had a whole bottle of rosé on the show. This week we on tequila. But every week it was because it was getting harder and harder to live through quarantine and be isolated with my family and realize like, oh my God, are we going to be in this forever? Like it was so much stress.
Well, I mean, I think we've kind of briefly touched on this before, but being forced to isolate, you do lose track and contact with things that make you who you are.
Yeah.
You know, so like you being able to be in front of people and talking to them and inspiring them, not just through like Instagram or like
it's
whatever,
different.
Like totally different. Like
it's
training
so
via
different.
Zoom,
oh my God.
The worst. I didn't have to wear pants yet. It was like awful. I hated it. So I mean, I get that.
I'm used to it because I still train 80% of my clients online.
Really?
Yes. They love it.
I mean, that's
because
great.
it's convenient for them, and they're all losing weight, and they're all ready for the summer, and we ain't even seen each other face to face. But
amazing,
it's still, they're still changing, and because we've been on a program for 2.5 years.
I see. Yeah, that's amazing.
And they've been doing this program. I'm so proud of them. Like, I have a client. I want to give a shout out to Mitch the Bag Boss. Give him a shout out right now.
Hey.
This was the year that he decided to take it so serious. And this is why I know I'm living a life of purpose. To see him transform in front of my eyes. We've done this. We've been training for 10 years. We've done it a few times. But this time is different. And when you see somebody, the gleam in their eye, and they see, oh my God, look at me.
I love that.
You know, he's going on, I'm not going to say his age. You ain't going to let me say that. But he's getting older. And and it's just beautiful to see him blossom into like who he's wanted to be. And he's just a fabulous person, and he's changed my life so much.
I love that. Yeah.
And just to see, you know, all of these, this is all from me just stepping in the gym one day and decided I want to train, you know?
That's amazing. Yeah.
You know, seriously. So I was like, I'm totally living a life of purpose. Yeah. And it gets so hard sometimes, but when I think of little things like that, I experience so much gratitude, and it just makes me like move forward even more.
And I think that's actually a perfect thing that in my head, like how I'm hearing it is, for anyone, like you can want something, and maybe it does take a couple years to really actually be ready for it. Mm-hmm. But then when you're ready for it, just like this guy, like once you're there, and like, you know, like there will be someone to help you along the way if you want it, you know, and we'll be patient enough for you to, like, when you're actually ready to do it. Yeah,
exactly. So. And like I've been through a lot with him, like the loss of a dog, and you know, loss of, like, I've never experienced anyone losing a dog, and I've never cried over a dog until this dog.
It's rough.
Like, oh my God. I get it. It's like a kid. Yeah. My sister has a dog. It's like a kid. But it's just, I'm saying that just to say, like, you know, you create such a bond with these people. Yes. And I realize now, like, if I'm going to live my purpose too, like, I do have to pursue these outside ventures, but I really have to, like, keep it to quality and not quantity. You don't have to have 50 million clients, because even the clients you have might increase. They understand what we're going through, you know, and they know that we're training on our own. We don't have an Equinox machine behind us. And so I just think it's just wonderful that we could just see the changes in their lives and then still be affected. You know, I seen this thing, I think it was Kanye, actually. Kanye said, you know, wouldn't it be wonderful to be able to go places with no money? The reason why, to have you had taken care of so many people.
I see.
That you can be taken care of.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can go to another country because of his music, and because he's made people's lives change. He can go to another country, or he's helped some people in there, whatever he's done without us knowing. He can go there and be like, oh, your money's no good here. You can sleep here. You're good here. That's with the 12 or 13. I don't think I have 9. I have 10 now. But the 10 people that I have, like, if something went down with me, I pray y'all would let me stay at your house. I pray. I mean, I'm saying it, but I really feel they would.
You can stay at my house.
Or some of them will be like, you know what? I'll get you a hotel. How about that? But and because they have, when there was a big fire at my house, 2 of my clients sent me money for a hotel.
Wow.
Because I was having a trying time, you know. But it was like, I've given to you, and they've given back so much. And so I'm realizing, like, this is a purposeful thing. Training is not just to be taken as, like, you know, a 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah.
This is, you have people's lives in your hands.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy that you say that, because I, last year, I was having to move out of my previous situation, and I didn't really know what I was going to do. It was like a really rough time. Like, you know, I've told you a little bit about it. But, I had to cancel some clients for that week. And one specifically, Jim, this is our, like, secret, like, fun pose, that I was just like, I'm sorry, I have to cancel. He knew it was weird, because I'll reschedule maybe, but, like, I'll never cancel if I can avoid it.
Eating a fry.
And, girl, please.
All right. Okay, we're back. We're back.
Hi.
All right. So, we were talking about living a life of purpose. Yes. That was on the list of living a life of no regret. And there was an episode that I wanted to refer to, and it was an episode, it was called What Are You Doing to Preserve Black Music? And it was with Sherry Brown.
Talent show called The Battle of the Bands. The Battle of the Bands was sort of like an American Idol. But it wasn't televised, but it was a big thing through LA, county and the counties surrounding. And you had to audition. And I auditioned, and so they had different categories, and I auditioned for the vocal soloist.
The winner of the Hollywood Battle of the Bands is...
For the semifinals, they would pick the top 3 in each category to go to the finals, which was at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, wow.
So I performed at the Hollywood Bowl.
She entered that contest and she ended up winning. And all her life, she had been writing songs for her friends. And then she ended up performing with this orchestra. And it was just like, she was like, oh, I realized at that moment that this was what I was supposed to be doing. Yeah. And then to move on and write this song with Patrice Rushen that moved on. And that song was sampled by Kurt Franklin. And it just moved forward. You know what I mean? And like, just to know that she knew what she was supposed to be doing at a young age. Amazing. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's what it takes. It takes you just to be called out in your gifts, and you just share your gifts, and then boom. Yeah. What you deserve comes right on. Yeah, that's how I feel this is going to happen with this show. And absolutely. I think that's what's going to happen with, with Trap Bootcamp and Zero BS Fit. That's why we're doing this. We're doing this to get the word out because, it's great to have these gifts, but if you can't share them with the world. Yeah. Like, what's the purpose? You know?
It almost feels like that in itself is a theme as well with the people that I've been here with, once I came on, and even the past ones that I've listened to with you, it's just like, it's the people who are willing to keep sharing until, at least one person got something from it.
Man, I think the episode that got a lot was the one with Glorica too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why I titled the name of the show, Stand or Sit Your Ass Down. How to glow, go, and get your life. That's right. Right? That is the title of the show today. I don't want to go too far in what happened to you, but you just have been so strong.
It's my son. Yeah. And for all of them know, he passed away this year, a few months ago. And it's crazy. It's like he prepared me for it. He told me some things that if it happened and I didn't know those things, I wouldn't be able to get up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like he was preparing me for it. So I just know that I believe in something. I know that there's something out there other than afterlife. There's something there, For sure. My other children, of course, are definitely a reflection of that as well. They're young, but they're so amazing.
She was amazing. I think a lot of people could really feel her pain. She just recently celebrated the, I don't want to say celebrated, but it was the anniversary of the death of her son, and they let go of balloons, and it's still very heart-wrenching. You know what I mean? It's still something that she's really dealing with, but I want to give her a shout out at the Glow podcast, because she has started her podcast and she's doing her thing. And
her birthday was yesterday. Happy.
What's her birthday? No, my best friend. That's my best friend. Yes, Bliss.
Just kidding.
Bliss's birthday and my sister and
me. And
this one.
But we'll have to cut that out because I made a mistake on whose birthday it was. But still,
it's okay.
The other girl.
But no, we have a gift for you too.
No.
Yeah, we do.
Is it a cuddle?
It's a sweater.
Oh my god! I've been meaning to buy one of these. This is awesome. Yes, I just had to wait till I got old.
We got her a Trap Bootcamp sweater.
This isn't what I wanted to.
And this is for you to wear.
Thank you. I'm gonna put it on now.
Yeah. This is for you. I want to make sure you have one of those. She kept saying, "I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get one." I was like, let me just give her one. It's her birthday. She deserves it. We'll be selling those at the Kamakai Healing Junction coming up on April 30th. We'll have candles, we'll have soaks, and we'll have sweaters, and I may even have some free gifts for y'all too. So
it's nice in here.
It's gonna be cool. I hope you can fit it. I got you a small. I know you muscle bound and stuff.
Muscle bound. My boobs are. You can say it. Oh, my nose.
Okay. Keep your nose ringing. There it is. Look at her. There she goes. There it is. All right. So now she's repping Trap Bootcamp, and I'm repping my girl Candy Cole with Kill the Ego. Check out the project. She's got a new project out. It's called Kill the Ego.
And sorry, Glorica. We'll go back to you in a second.
She knows. We do keep up with you, Glorica. So she posted it. That it was Bliss you were thinking about, but that's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay to get them mixed up. They call each other twin. They're close friends.
Okay.
So yeah, it's okay to get them mixed up. They'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
Bliss. It was Bliss's birthday yesterday too, along with yours. We're gonna be celebrating tonight. So happy birthday to her. She's got a new project that she dropped yesterday. She dropped a new song. It's called New Shit. New shit. So check it out on YouTube. She dropped a video and a single. So check her out, y'all. And number 4 on our list is living a life of intention.
Go on.
Now, I think I don't know what made me start doing it, but back in the day, if people look at some of the episodes of me, actually, not the episodes, I had a thing called the breakdown, and I would break down workouts.
Yes, okay.
And put them I put them online. At the end of it, I would have our ending stretch. And at the end of the stretch, I would always say, set your intentions.
Love it.
And that just became like something that I did all the time. And I realized if you set your intentions on what you want to do, you'll have an easier path. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I think people know that I lead with love.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if I'm if I'm upset, if I don't call, if I sub online or anything like that, my intention is always good. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's something about self-preservation that we will, cut into a corner and then, express ourselves in a certain way. But I definitely believe that how we share the information with people, there's intention in that. Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
So that one of the episodes that I used was reasons why Black music is out of control, and that was I used that title. There was like a clickbait kind of title, but but it's the truth. It was the truth. I was talking about trap music and other music with a brother by the name of Brother Jay from a group called X Clan.
You were like inspiring, like entire, like you had us over here with medallions and like. Did you know that you were doing that when you sat down and wrote those lyrics? Did you have that intention?
No, I joined the movement first, so I didn't have the gimmick thing to attach to my music and shit. We was already strong in the movement from early teenage. I was coming out of high school. I was in the movement, so I didn't get signed until 88, 89 with that first single and whatnot. So, I had been so strong with them. That's how we walked around all the time. I'm pulling beads off at the basketball court and shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I just took my experience of what I was going through and put some in the music. You know what I'm saying? Let people know what it was like every day, really, participating in the rallies and building with the elders and all of this kind of thing. We were just sharing the experiences that we were going through. So it wasn't like a premeditated thing. It just was a natural thing because that's how we was all the time. The crown's on, everything. So.
And they were a very conscious group that was out back in the day, and they were they were well known for their conscious music. Okay. And so we spoke about the music today and how that affected, people's mindsets and how it affected how we move forward as Black people and as people, period, because hip hop affects a lot of people. Yes, it does, yeah. You know what I mean? So do you feel like you've set a purpose and an intention for your life now, or do you feel like moving forward, that's something that you're working on?
I mean, I think for a long time, it was very much the same thing with training, right? Like I want to be able to change people's lives and I want to, just spread knowledge. Mm-hmm. But I think right now there is a small part of that chapter that, I feel like I've been doing it, but I want to know how to expand on it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, because like for me, I can get very stagnant very quickly. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, but the pandemic, and I'll use it as an excuse. Mm-hmm. But more recently, I think I'm trying to learn more about myself to expand on that and like what I can learn more with, or share more of, or not share as much with. Like,
that's the thing too. Like I said, I'm working on my presence and my the way that I am around people, because I don't want them to think that I'm like by the book. When I walk in the door, the shit's going down. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's how it is sometimes, but I know when I'm out and stuff, like, I gotta put this away. Like, I used to always be on my promo.
Yeah.
When I went out, I'm always like, hey, so yeah. And I think that's probably why people act like that around me. Like, they be like, tuck it in. Like, you know, like, I'm gonna start talking. I'm 1, 2, let's train right here. Like, I some weird shit.
Trigger point you right now.
Right. Like, it's so weird. And I'm like, trying to soften up my presence, but not inauthentic. I want to be fully myself still because I'm still not that. Hey, I'm not her. I'm just not. I just can't. I be wanting to be, but I ain't.
And I think there's layers of it, like, and I'm sure at that time and even now, right? Like, I'm sure maybe that was at the beginning of like, okay, now I really feel like this is what I'm gonna go forward with. So being excited about it, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But then of course, just like we're saying, like things can kind of shift. So it's like, I know I'm excited about this, but how am I going to incorporate it a little bit more like gently into the rest of my life?
Right.
So it's like, I think that's great. Like when I first met you, like it was that kind of like around the time when that was all happening. Like I would have never said that. Like I know that you were very serious, but I was like, this bitch is cool. Like, I want to hang out with her.
Right, but I mean, that's the thing. That's why I be like, damn, why people act like that around me? I'm cool as fuck. But then I would get people saying like, wow, I really didn't think you were like this. I'm like, what do you mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Wait, I'm going to fix this light right quick. Keep going.
Are a lot of those people who are saying that still in your life now? Yeah. They are?
Well, they're more in my life now.
In your life now.
You know what I mean? But I think they had a different. They thought I was a different person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how? How the hell? I mean, like, I'm goofy. I'm myself.
Yeah.
I am very serious and I'm very business minded. But I've never been in a place where I've just been like, that's just never been me.
No.
And so when people react that way, I'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
I mean, and maybe it's just, I'm sure everyone's met someone that, maybe they just weren't ready for that energy.
Maybe, that might be it too.
Maybe people didn't know that much about fitness or intention or, But I bet you changed a lot of those people's lives that you came in contact with, even if they did seem maybe uncomfortable or like whatever. Like, I'm sure like they're still here now. There's a reason.
I would hope so. Yeah. I would hope so. That's always been my goal. Like, I don't want to just be. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I want to be inspiring. I want to be somebody. I want to be important for, I do want to leave my stain somewhere in history. I want people to know who I am. I want to build a legacy at least to, leave a time capsule of shit that people are like, I respect this woman, what she left behind,
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, when you lose people and you see like they couldn't really live their lives fully. Yeah. Like my grandmother, she passed away. She was 87 years old. Okay. Yeah. She lived a life. Yeah. But then you have people that died recently, they're really young. They didn't get to live a life. And so to see that now, it just makes me feel like, woo, every day is so important. Yeah. And I don't have to really sugarcoat anything anymore. I used to be watering down shit all the time and like trying to make this podcast so perfect. And now I'm like, this is it. Yeah. This is what we do. This is the, and it works.
Yeah. No, I love it. And even like more recently, you and I have been talking, like, let's just do B-rolls. Let's just show people how fucking weird we are.
Yeah.
And, like,
we are weird,
no edits and like putting on a sweater, pulling my nose ring out. I can feel that sticking out. It's fine. Whatever. Yeah. All right. Like, and I love that. I think I've always kind of seen you in that way. Mm-hmm. But I will say, and I'm sure because you've got my text messages a lot recently. So like I feel like you're much more comfortable now. Like, like sharing it and like, just living a life no regrets.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
You see what I did there?
You see how I just said, wait, you see that?
See what I did there?
You see that? There was an episode that I had, I don't know if you ever seen, there was a thing called Zen Thug. Ever told you about that?
No.
Zen Thug. Okay, so it's a girl named Jizzle. She's a female rapper. Back in the day, her name was Lady G. Mm-hmm. She was a thuggy rapper. You know what I'm saying? She was thug with it. But then she changed her life and she found yoga and she found, meditation, and she found health, and she created a program called Zen Thug. And I don't know when she created it. I was 2 years in with Trap Bootcamp, and I went to her event. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah. Challenges you faced as a youth coming in, number one, a Black woman, and then you deciding not to sign. What were some of like the major challenges that you faced?
I think for me, the biggest challenge is, I guess, and I think about that now, it's just coming over, like not attaching my unwillingness or my choice to go against the grain as being directly connected to my worth. And thinking, and making sure that I reassure myself, even though I'm not taking the traditional, doesn't mean I'm not supposed to be here.
Right.
Even though I'm not, I still find myself in every room, that your favorite artists in, or those big artists are in. So just kind of being able to recognize those moments and taking, I guess the trials, like even when it's tough, just taking it on the chin and not personal, because everybody's different. And I mean, it took me a while to get there. And I guess like when you're in it, like I've never been one of those people who, and maybe that's to a fault, that can kind of recognize the chips against me or, hate or whatever. I never really took it like that. I just was like, okay, well, I have to do more work because I know I'm not willing to do what they say. And I think go along to get along, then it's easier. But if you're not, then you're gonna have to do a little bit more, and your path's gonna be a little different. So, but still, that doesn't mean that doubt doesn't creep in, or what I mean. You have naysayers and stuff like that. But I think,
and she spoke about it on her show. She talked about, like, the episode was called "Can You Go from Thug Life to Zen Life?" Okay. And it was a lesson in spiritual transformation, which we talked about, and she had a spiritual awakening that was, I don't know what happened in her life, but it was so transformative that it changed the way that she did everything, the way she delivered her music, the way she dealt with people. And you can see it. You could see it so evident. And when you see her, she's so bright now. You know what I mean? Before she would always have glasses on. Like, she still wears glasses. That's a part of her thing. But back in the day, the Lady G, I remember, was always like, I never really knew who she was. You know what I mean? But now she's like this, and it's just so wonderful to see.
That's amazing.
In her program, Zen Thug, it happens, I think, twice a year or more than that. I'm not sure. You can check it out online. Check out that episode. Yeah. She created this thing called Remy. She said, in the morning, before you do anything, have a cup of Remy. And I used to tell my clients, and it was like, what?
What is that?
Reading. Exercising. Meditation.
Okay.
And yoga stretches.
I'm not mad at any of that.
That's dope, right?
Me.
Remy, have a glass of Remy right before you start your day. I love it.
I love that.
It was so dope, and it was like something that stuck with me. I was like, girl, I use that on my thing, my podcast. I'll use it on my show. Aww. But I definitely attribute it to her, because that was an amazing way to just put something so, for a group of people, like, we make things so hard sometimes. Like, I have to give you all of this information, the transformational doctrine of the libidabada, you know what I'm saying? And then it's just like, read, exercise, meditate, yoga. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can do that.
A glass of Remy.
I can do that. That was it was just like so helpful. And
we should bring her on.
We are going to bring her on. We are going to bring her on. So let's move on to number 5. I think this is going to be our last one. No, we got one more. We're going to do one more after this, number 6. And then we'll come back next week and we'll give you the other 6, okay? So number 5 is valuing your emotional connections.
Okay. This is a deep one.
Oh, this is a deep one. And the episode that I most remember was episode 7, I think. And that is an episode where I think when quarantine started, I was taking account of who my real people were, because you didn't have many people that you could just be like, hey, I'm about to come over and chill with you.
Yeah, true.
It's like, nope, you can't come over here. Like, so I was starting to call people on the phone, and I was drinking my wine, and I was making phone calls and talking to people, and I called, I remember there was I think I spoke about it on the show. Shannon, my client Shannon. I went to her house to train her, and I guess she could see it on my face that I really wasn't wanting to train, but I was emotional, but I was just like, I'm not going to show that. Like, I need to make this money. I'm going to go do this session. So she was like, fuck this session. She was like, we need to go stock up on some food. Oh, okay. And she was like, let's go. Aww. And we got in her car and we went right in Sherman Oaks and went to the grocery store and we went shopping and we laughed and we talked and we built another part of our bond. We used to hike a lot before quarantine, but we built another part of our bond. And I think that's why, like, I'm still training her till this day. Yeah. Online, we train every day. She's 4 days a week. Like, wow, amazing. And she's very dedicated. But it was like she just totally understands me. Like, she's like my spirit animal. When I grow up, I'm gonna be Shannon. Okay, I'm serious. The girl is the bomb. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna tell all her business, but she's the shit. Okay, she helped sponsor our event, Kamikaze Healing Junction, Tatuaje cigars, a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Lifestyle cigars. She was very instrumental in, just like her and Mitch. They are like really good people that I can look at and say, I got some things I need to do in my life to be at that level to where I'm so comfortable that, nothing phases me. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's just a real person. You know what I mean? And I value that connection so much because I know when I lost my grandmother, like when I lost a family member, like she's just right there. All of my clients, they're right there. Yeah. I totally value those people. Do you have anybody like in your life that you value like that, like clients wise?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's maybe a while ago. My last ex, he would always say like, you never like talk about your friends. You always talk about your clients. And I actually had someone else say that years ago, and I was like, "What are you talking about? They are my friends." Like, it's like and it's been called out before, where it's like, you get along with people who are like not your age, and I'm just like,
they understand me.
Thank you. But it's true, and I think like something I was thinking about while you were sharing what you were just sharing is it's amazing to not even really realize that you have that connection with someone, and then when it happens, like that story, like going to a grocery store and like just her getting you out of like your like whatever was going on, like that I think is amazing. Yeah. And like that's happened with some of my clients. Again, that client Jim, for example, we're just kind of recently we're texting, and I can tell just through text that he was too tired to train. And it was just, he can get injured very easily. So, and so I literally called him. I was like, dude, for real, right now, if you don't want to train, we'll just do like, and I do not wake up early. But I said 8:30 on like Thursday. And he was like, okay, thank you so much. And like when I saw him at 8:30 that Thursday, it was just, he was like, I don't know how you knew, but I was just like so exhausted. I was just going to come because I wanted to support you. And I was like, and I told him, I was like, I knew that if you were going to come, I was going to feel bad because you weren't going to get anything out of it. Yeah. I have a lot of clients like that. It's like sometimes I have so much excitement that they're like, I cannot let her down. Yeah. Like I got to be there. Yeah. And I'm like, no, like your body is important. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you can't just push through some things. Some days you just need to take a break. And that's a part of, transformation. Your body can't do the transforming that it needs to do from all of this hard work if you don't sleep, if you don't relax. Like it's not going to change. Exactly. And I think the regeneration part is something that a lot of people don't talk about, but also, like us just being able to recognize that via text or, you walking in your client being like, girl, right, let's go get some food. Like it is a connection that I don't think a lot of people outside of the fitness industry, I mean, I guess in my opinion, experience. Right. But because sometimes like it's hard for a person to buy in. Like I've just paid you so and so amount for the session and we're not doing it. Yeah. No, this is not gonna work. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah. But if you have people that value what you, like I had a client, like I could talk to her and I'm like, so how you doing today? I kind of look at her like first, how you doing? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah. And she'd be like, girl, I'm flustered. And I'm like, okay, this is what we're going to do today. Lay down. Yeah. We're meditating. Yeah. Yep. Like, that's it. We're meditating for 10 minutes until we can decompress and get you stabilized. And then we can do some work.
Even if that means we're only going to do 20 minutes of workout, you need to be whole and present in this moment. I can't have you thinking about all kind of other things. Yeah. You're not taking care of yourself in that situation.
Yeah,
you know
training
what I mean?
isn't always about lifting or sweating.
Yes.
It can just be weirdly kind of like a therapy session, or stretching to release something, or, you know, grabbing that fucking sand ball and throwing that shit up against the wall. Not my wall, because my walls aren't that strong anymore. Right. I don't work in a gym anymore, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, it is that knowing and that connection with the people that you literally see probably more than a lot of your family members.
Yeah, more. Yeah. Honestly, more than I see my clients pretty much every day. Yep. I see them more than I see my family.
Yeah, I'm texting them like all the time.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, texting my friends.
Right. Checking on them, seeing if they ate. Did you eat? What time did you eat? What did you eat? What are you doing? Did you work out?
I'm just like, how was poker night? Like, what's going on? What you and your wife do last night? Like, just anything.
I'll be trying to like brighten up their day. I'm sending them a little, you know, we have our tactics. And I realized, like, in the beginning when I was apprenticing with that trainer, he told me, he was like, you know, he used to be a little mechanical when it came to certain things. Like, every Monday I call and I say hi, you know what I'm saying? It was a little different, but that was a bit much for me. But I can be out somewhere and think of something or hear something, and I'll be like, oh, we did that yesterday. Hey, and I'll send them the information. Yep. And just be like, I thought that you would value this because, you know, you always ask questions about this, and so here, boom. Absolutely. You know, and I send them information. That's something that I learned from Equinox too. You're, you know, and now it starts to be a habit to like, I have to turn that shit off when I walk into the gym now. Like, I really do. It's so hard. Yeah. It is so hard to walk into this gym and see people
have blind. Like, you have to have blinders.
People be doing, oh my God. I've seen people doing triceps, like,
with that
everything with their neck, with their backs.
Yeah.
And then I seen people, oh my God, squatting straight down. Like, oh my God. It was just, and I really have to put my music on and just be like, you're not a trainer here. Yeah. You're just like these people. This is a judgment-free zone, as they say. Judgment-free. Don't pay attention. But, you know, as a person that is here to share my gifts, it's so hard. Oh, yeah. Definitely. It's very hard. It's very hard.
I totally get it. Yep.
I think the episode I was talking about, the title of it was Bong Smoking and Holy Bible Toting.
What? I was going through them yesterday. I did not see that one. What?
But that was like, it was, I think I used that episode because this guy, when I went to school, I talked about letting people, valuing your emotional connections and letting people be who they are. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so that was the main thing, letting people be who they are. And this person I used to live in front of, I talk about the story on this episode, so you can check out the episode. But it was a guy that used to live in front of my, okay, I got to break this down for y'all in this episode. So, all right. So the reason why Trap Bootcamp is called Trap Bootcamp, because I honestly was in the trap at one point, right? And I just sold a little bit of weed on the side, you know what I'm saying? I was like selling
okay, that's what that means.
I sold a little weed on the side, and I was selling. I was doing it at I'm transparent. I'm real with it. Shit, I don't care. But
oh my God, I love it.
Sorry.
Where was this at?
This was in Atlanta, and I went to Clark Atlanta University, and I used to stay on the side of the library. I left Ware Hall and I stayed on the side of the library. And there was a guy that used to sit outside and smoke weed in front of his house all the time. And he used to smoke these big ass joints. And so I went over there and I was like, hey, what's up with the guys? Yeah. So we got to know each other. And then he gave me a little, because he knew I was struggling to make my money, you know. So, and he was like, hey, I give you a little weed, just set it and, you know, give me whatever. You just be able to eat and stuff. And it was cool. Okay. It was cool. But he would sit in front of his house. He had little kids. He had sons. And he would smoke his weed. And he would read the Bible. And I was like, okay. I didn't get it. Yeah. You know, at the time I was young. I'm in college. I'm thinking, you know, I think about old grandmother's ways and stuff. And that moment where he explained to me, you know, the Bible, you know, I talk about it in the episode. Check out the episode. But it was a point in my life where I realized we have to let people be who they are, because no matter what they do or who they are, you can be influenced by you can be influenced, good or bad, but like you can get a good influence from somebody. You might not expect it, but he really gave me that understanding that you have to let people be themselves authentically, truthfully. True. Like, don't try to change people.
Like, and I've had that happen to me a lot. Like, even talking about how I used to be a professional dominatrix. Some people never wanted me to talk about that. And I was like, but that's who I am. That's why I'm even more weird than normal.
Right,
like, I don't know, like, what do you want me to say? And so I think it's just, if anything, remember when someone tried to change you and it made you feel uncomfortable. Don't project that onto other people.
Yeah, and I mean that's a good one. We are gonna come back, y'all. We're gonna come back with the next episode, and we're gonna get deeper into these next. I think we got up to 5 today, so we're gonna do the next ones when we come back.
Yes.
But you know what? That's what this is about. This show, this is a freer episode. Us just doing ourselves and enjoying our time together
and enjoying beautiful food.
And yes, this food was amazing.
Thank you, Hummus Lali.
Thank you, Hummus Lali. Thank you for coming and just always sharing. We miss you, Zach. We'll see you when you get back. And I hope that you guys love this episode. I hope that you go back and check out the old episodes. We have so much stuff and so much information for you to share. And we're growing and we're going to bring more to you coming soon.
Yeah, and like let us know how you're like seeing these things, what you've experienced. Because like, you know, maybe we'll bring you on if you're not so shy.
Exactly.
Right, we can do that?
Yeah, we can. We can submit. Go to our page on Spotify. You can view us now there, and you can listen to us. So go check it out. And as always, follow me.
And me.
And follow me. See y'all later.